Definitely. So you get drafted, right? What do the next 2, 3, 4 days to a week look like? Do they send you a plane ticket saying come out? What happens after that?
Yeah, so basically after that, what happened was the next after Coach Shanahan, the next person I heard from was the running backs coach. And he was like, "Man, you thought I kept calling you for nothing?" And I was like, "Coach, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I don't know. I was like, I just thought you was messing around with me, just really calling and checking." He was like, "Nah, man." He said, "You showed me something at that combine um, that was different." And I told them, like, I gotta have you. And he was like, "Cause you're a very smart kid." And I got off the phone with him, and then from there it was other staff and stuff calling like, "Hey, we got, uh, you know, we're gonna fly you out with all the other draft picks. We're gonna do this whole like fan day thing or whatever, and send you back home so you can get all packed up so you can come back and be in Virginia, um, for the start of our rookie mini camp and all that kind of stuff." And yeah, it was just I wouldn't say it was too hectic because I mean I was a fifth round pick, so it was like I didn't have to fly a lot of places and go do this and go do that and do all these interviews and card signings. I didn't have to do all of that stuff like right away. It just kind of like came slowly, but I was able to just for a couple weeks I was really able to just sit there and just be in that moment and be like, this really is real. Like this really is, happening for me, a kid from Greenville, Florida, that nobody has ever heard about. Um, it was just an amazing experience. And uh, one thing I left out about my rehab through my rehab process, RG3 happened to be rehabbing at the same place in Pensacola, which he was there starting quarterback. He was a Redskins starting quarterback at the time, and I had no clue. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit of a RG3 fan because watching him in college, like he was killing it.
He was cold.
Yeah,
Cold
so
back then.
like when I saw him training and stuff there, because he had tore his ACL that same year, I saw him training and stuff there. Like I never even imagined, like in a couple months I would have been his teammate. And literally he's still one of the guys I still talk to, to this day or whatever. But I mean, it was that whole process as a rookie. I mean, there were definitely, some tough times when it came to getting into practices and just the pace of everything. And it's like, boom, here's the playbook. We're going over this stuff for day one in a matter of 40 minutes, an hour, a whole new thing. And then we're going out and we putting it on the field. And just the speed of everything, how fast they move. It was a big transition. And I was, a lot of the stuff I didn't participate in because I was still recovering from my knee. So it was more so like mental. It was more mental training for me than it was physical. But I was still on the side when they were going through plays. I was still on the side, like either running through the plays or running the routes and stuff for RG3 because it was me, him, and tight end Jordan Reed that got drafted the same year as me. We were all still like going through our rehab process and just kind of getting ready for training camp time. But man, I was like, oh man, we going to, because Washington had just had a really good year. Literally, they lost because RG3 got hurt. But I was like, oh yeah, we about to go to the Super Bowl. I was like, I'm gonna get back right. I said, we got Jordan Reed. I had played against him for 4 years when he was at Florida. So I'm like, I already knew what he was about, and hadn't really lost many players. And I was like, oh yeah, we about to do this thing. And it was not. That rookie year did not go well. We won 2 games that whole year. Yeah, it was a rough start to my season, but for me to make the team that year was also a journey. Because when you get drafted, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make the 53-man roster. You probably be on practice squad, something like that. And we were in the third preseason game, and I had just started the second preseason game I was able to start playing again, and I played in that game. I actually got hurt in that second preseason game. First time out there, got hurt again. I didn't know how serious it was at the time. I didn't even tell them about it because I was like, I can't be hurt again. This will be my 3rd year in a row. This is not happening to me, and I just got drafted. So I didn't tell them about it at all. We get into the 3rd preseason game, and they were like, Chris, go catch a punt. And I was like, huh? They were like, yeah, go back there, go catch a punt. Let me see what you can do. I hadn't caught punts since I was in a game. I hadn't caught punts since my senior year of high school. So I'm 5 years removed from doing this. I go back there, the punter kicked he shanked the kick. He kicked maybe a 35-yard punt or something. So I'm running to go catch it. I don't even know what I was thinking. I should have called a fair catch. For some reason, the whole punt team seemed like, when I was sprinting up for the ball, it seemed like the whole punt team spread out and allowed me to catch it. I didn't call a fair catch. So I'm sprinting up, I catch it, I run and get 15 yards. And I got to the sideline, they were like, Chris, what's wrong with you? Why you ain't call a fair catch? I was like, man, I don't know. I was nervous. And I was just like, I got to catch this ball more than anything else. I wasn't thinking about getting hit, anything like that. And yeah, that was pretty much it for that game. We get to the last preseason game. Last preseason usually for the younger guys to kind of prove themselves or whatever. So I think I ended up getting that running back. I was supposed to play running back from the second quarter through the rest of the game. And got a couple plays in at running back. Again, they were like, Chris, you want to go catch punts? I was like, all right, I'll do it, whatever. So first punt come, I let it roll. It was a little bit of a shorter punt. I tried to sprint up to catch it. I was like, nah, I can't get it. So I jumped out the way, just kind of let it roll or whatever. I got yelled at on the sideline, but I was just like, whatever. I ain't been back here, you know what I'm saying, in years consistently. I'm gonna just let it be what it is. So then second punt comes around, they was like, Chris, I think this might have been in the 3rd quarter. And they were like, go back there and catch this punt again. So I went back there. This time it was a good, solid punt. Caught the punt. I think I took it for 60 yards for a touchdown. And I get to the sideline, and my running backs coach came to me and was like, he said it real soft and real just nonchalant. He was like, you're done. And I was like, huh? He was like, you're done. I was like, all right. I don't know what that means, but okay. And so then the older guys came over, the other running backs came over to me. They was like, did what Bobby T just told you? I was like, well, he just told me I was done. And they was like, all right, well, congrats. I was like, huh? They say, you just made the team. I was like, nah, no way. He was like, yeah, whenever you hear a coach tell you that you're done and you still supposed to be playing, you done made the team. Congrats. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Cause whole time, like, their plan, and even Coach Shanahan told me, like, the plan was for me to, this was literally what he said. I want you to regular season, totally different. But I didn't know how bad my injury was that I suffered in the second game, the second preseason game. And we get more and more into the season. I waited until I made the team to then be like, oh, my shoulder kind of hurting me a little bit. So, so they started like doing some treatment on it. I was like, all right, I feel good. I'm all right. And so it started bothering me like constantly. So we did an MRI on it. They told me I tore my labrum. That's the season ending. You gotta get surgery type thing. But a lot of times you can play through it. So I was like, all right, just let me play through it. Just do what you gotta do so I can just go through every game so I can play through it. And I got through, I want to say like 5 or 6 games. And we were in practice one day. I tried to go up and catch a pass, and my shoulder like dislocated again. And that time it was like bad. It hurt like real bad. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this again. I ended up finishing practice, and then afterwards I was like, hey, this thing hurts like real bad. I can't do this. And I called my agent and I told him, and he was like, look, I know this is not what you want to do, but we need to call it up and we need to go in and get surgery, and you start getting ready for next year. And that was it. So we're talking about 3 straight years, season-ending injuries, and yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, it was rough.
Okay, so